Yo, Rocco B, Scotty G, highly explicit NFL podcast. We're back, episode 30. Holy shit, 30 fucking episodes talking about the NFL. This is Rocco B in Louisville, Kentucky, hitting you hard right now, and from San Diego, California. Here's my boy Scotty G.
How you doing?
All right, buddy. Week fucking three. It just keeps hitting us with fucking surprises. It keeps hitting us with gut punches in a couple of these fucking games. Last night, I was fucking happy because that game was unbelievable last night, Scotty.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was everything I expected it to be honest with you.
Now, as far as the rest of the fucking week, before we even got there to the old Rodgers versus San Fran, I'll tell you, the other games this week, we had the game of the week. I think it lived up to its billing for about three quarters, which was the Bucs and the Rams, and I know you were all over that. You know, you love yourself.
That was honestly a letdown for the first three quarters to me. It was like a blowout until the fourth quarter. They started coming back.
Yeah, I'm just really I'm not sold, but we'll get in there.
Let me say the first and fourth quarter were good. The second and third quarter were a blowout.
All right, well let's just fucking get into it, baby. I want to talk about last night. Last night, the Green Bay Packers finally get the fucking San Francisco 49er monkey off their back. They beat San Fran in the last second. Mason Crosby field goal 30-28. And Aaron Rodgers comes out, our boy, and says he's romantic about football. How can you not? This motherfucker wasn't romantic when he was getting his ass kicked by 35 points with New Orleans. This fucking guy. He wasn't romantic about beating the Detroit Lions at fucking home on Monday after getting owned in the fucking first half. So I can't stand this fucking guy. I wish he would just shut the fuck up. But, Scotty, what do you think about the San Francisco 49ers coming back and then blowing it at the end, letting Davante Adams, of all people, catch two big balls at the end so Mason Crosby can come in and do what he does?
It's exactly what I said. This team, the 49ers are still a great team in the NFL. Don't get me wrong. They're a top 10 team in the NFL, in my opinion. But this defense is not what it was, and that secondary needs a shit ton of help. There's nobody on that secondary. They need to bring somebody in. At this point, I would literally go get Dick Sherman back because anything would help this fucking secondary because you're not going to stop the best receiver in the league and one of the best quarterbacks in the league when it comes down to a situation like that. And their front seven's good, but not good enough to make up for the lack of secondary help. They need help.
It was unbelievable. I was going nuts. The fact that you let 17 catch the ball, not once, but twice, to get you down for that Mason Crosby field goal, which he's hit 22 straight now, and he's fucking unbelievable. I mean, he killed my Cowboys a bunch of times. He puts a dagger in any team that he's about to kick a game-winning field goal for. So how they let him do that, how they let Davante Adams do that, I don't know. Here's the biggest takeaway for me, Scotty. We knew San Fran's secondary sucks. We knew that. I mean, we've known that from day one. The problem is what I see on the field from San Fran. I completely fucking agree with you, bro. Top 10 team for sure. If you're talking about team, they need Trey Lance to play. Jimmy G, even though, did he orchestrate the comeback fucking, march down at the end of the game to lead 28-27? Yes, he did. But why were they in that spot? They were only in that spot because he had two big turnovers, a big pick, and that fucking stupid fumble. And the fact that they had Aaron Rodgers up 17-0, and then off of those turnovers, they don't really convert them into touchdowns like Green Bay normally does. San Fran should have blew Green Bay out last night, the way that defensive line was playing and the way that Aaron Rodgers was not playing, especially in the second half. But yet Jimmy G lets them back in time after time because he doesn't put the game away. He's in the wrong offense. I'm not saying Jimmy G's not a starter. I think he's definitely making his case that he has to be a starter in this league on another team. But he does not fit in this offense.
I think he's in the perfect offense. I think he's just not, the team's just not what it was because the reason he's in the perfect offense is because Jimmy's a game manager. It's just the bottom line. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't say that in a negative way. He's a game manager, and I think you can win games with game managers. You can even win Super Bowls with game managers as long as you have the right team around them. And the two things you need for a game manager is a lockdown defense, which they don't have with no secondary, and a run game, which they don't have because Trey Sermon, I thought, sucked last night. He did not look like as advertised, and Mozart out for the season. You had no Eli Mitchell, so this team doesn't have the run game.
Well, the quarterback that should be in the game could be your rushing offense. That's the thing. I completely disagree with you, Scotty. I think he's in the wrong offense. I think Shanahan wants a guy who can move. And Jimmy G doesn't move. That's the one downfall he has. He is a game manager that can't move. If you don't have a running game, where does a running game get? Look at what fucking Baltimore's doing. Okay, how do they have a run game? They don't. Oh, but it's from Lamar Jackson. That's where it's from, and they win games.
Do you realize that the two most successful Kyle Shanahan offenses had two quarterbacks that couldn't move? Kirk Cousins and fucking Matt Ryan.
Yeah, it's very successful. How many Super Bowls they win? How many Super Bowls they win with Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, and Matt Ryan? Zilch. And they
how many? Yeah, they've been.
Yeah, that's nice. The worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the NFL to do. Go to the Super Bowl.
Again. How many times have our offensive coordinators gotten us to Super Bowls? That's literally 90% of the battles is getting there.
I understand, but I'm just saying, for this team to be their max, for them to live up to their potential, they gotta fucking put Trey Lance in the game.
Why do you think they're not playing him?
That's the thing. I wanted to talk to you about Lance. I want to talk to you about Fields in the same realm of, are these guys just not ready? Or
could be.
Do the coaching staffs for both teams don't really know how to say, all right, well, let's really hide their fucking weaknesses and let's up their strengths? I got to believe that that's not the case. I got to believe maybe they're just both not ready. But I think I have a little bit of a different opinion with Chicago. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's get to Green Bay real quick. I want to know your thoughts on how they looked and the comeback in Rodgers and all that.
I thought they looked fine. I mean, I'm not worried. I mean, considering the situation where we know Rodgers has a mental block against San Fran for whatever fucking reason, and considering this is a good team, considering it is a good front seven, and let's be real, Rodgers, I think, still is going to have a great season, but these first 3 games, he still looked a little like he's got some rust on him right now. Yeah. And that could be because all the bullshit he did in the offseason, he might not have actually focused like he normally does. You see him fucking going on vacation with his new girl and all this shit he's doing. So it's very possible he's just not, he wasn't as dialed in coming to the season as he normally is. So he's got some rust. But the fact is, with all that being said, he goes into a place that he doesn't normally win and he's got the rust. The fact that he played the way he did, it makes me feel much better because I'm expecting him to play worse than what he did. And I thought he played decent, if not good.
Yeah, no, we called it too. We called it him coming into San Fran, getting the monkey off his back. And he did, but it just it was down to the last minute, and it was the way that it happened with Adams. Couldn't believe it. But Green Bay looks to be ascending, and San Fran, to me, is going to be stagnant until they get Trey Lance in the game. Now, Scotty, this was the best part. You want to talk about Crosby hitting the fucking field goal to win it at the end? He got overshadowed. He got overshadowed by the best field goal kicker in the fucking history of the game. Love this guy, Justin Tucker. This guy not only now wins the game for the Baltimore Ravens. The fact they were down to Detroit at the end, 17-16, is fucking amazing to me. But Lamar and his illness and the Ravens were ravaged with injury. He leads the team down. Tucker now has a shot to hit a 66-yard field goal to win the fucking game and set an NFL record. The fucking guy, if you notice, Scotty, the video I sent you yesterday, I couldn't believe it. I was going nuts. He took an extra step backwards than a normal 3-step drop of a kicker. He takes about another step backwards, and then he does a little fucking crow hop to fucking run up to the ball, kick it like it's a kickoff almost, and he hits a 66-yard field goal, hits the crossbar, goes in, bada bing, bada boom. Baltimore beats Detroit 19-17. Unbelievable. You want to know the fucking weirdest part about this, though, Scotty?
What's that?
The previous record was 63 yards a long time ago by Tom Dempsey. Matt Prater had beaten it and kicked a 64-yarder. But Tom Dempsey, when he set the record, 63-yard field goal, it was against the Detroit Lions.
Damn.
And he won the game 19-17, just
Funny.
like Tucker did. How fucking weird is that?
Yeah, it's weird.
Holy shit.
Let me say this, too. They didn't hit the over, but I told you, be careful of these teams right after playing Kansas City.
Yes, the over wasn't even close, but you're right. I mean, Baltimore now has won. Cleveland won. The team.
I'm actually trying to think about it. Maybe Vegas is getting wise to it because now you think about it, that over is kind of high. 52 is pretty high.
52 is a high over. I mean, they had a bunch of injuries, like we know, and Lamar apparently was sick as fuck all week. And you can see it. He played like shit. But I'll tell you, Hollywood Brown had some bad drops. He looked terrible, Hollywood Brown. But Justin Tucker, man, best kicker in the game. Detroit's got a lot of problems. I like their fight. Their fucking fans were going nuts. When they took the lead 17-16, they were going crazy.
I told you, they're going to be one of those teams. Like week 13 to 18, you think it's going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be a team you probably don't want to see.
Yeah, And I'll tell you, I really believe they're 2-1 against the spread now, and I think it's one of those teams that you're gonna, they're not gonna be a blowout, like you said. I completely agree with you. Now, oh man, after that kick, fantastic, and then you see the ending to the Chargers and Chiefs game. Holy shit! The Los Angeles Chargers, my AFC West pick for the year, wins the game 30-24. Off a crazy ass ending, which I don't know if I agree with how Staley fucking
Yeah, this game fucked my whole gym fucking cycle up because I had work going on. I had to go to work. I was about to go to the gym, and every time I'm about to leave the fucking house, the fucking more things happen. I'm like, I can't leave this game. I had to sit there and watch the whole fucking thing, and then I could not believe, and I know where you're going with this. They bring the kicker on the field, and then they say, you know what? No, we don't trust this fucking guy, which might have been actually the right call. Pull him off. And then the craziest thing, which I think you're going to get to, is not only do they go for it, they throw it like 3-4 times in a row. They don't even fucking run the ball.
It's unbelievable. What they did at the end of the game completely fucking defies logic of what you would do to win a football game at the end of the game.
Why do you think they did it? Do you think they made a statement to say, hey, Kansas City, we're not scared of you. Go fuck yourself?
That's what it is. This guy's got balls. This guy's got balls.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. It's like part of me is like, are they showing that they're not scared? Because if going for it, it's almost showing you are scared because you don't want to put it in Mahomes' hand. But at the same time, you just throw the ball like you believe in your offense so much. Like, oh, you think you got firepower? Look at our firepower. So I don't know what the message is, but to me, it was a fucking statement game. That was the biggest game in Justin Herbert's career, and it was a hell of a game, and it helped me win some fantasy games too.
Yeah, there you go.
So I appreciate it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, as I'm not known to do, and I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that Justin Herbert is going to be a better quarterback from now on than Mahomes. I really do.
Oh, my God.
I really do. I think this kid has got moxie. I think he's more of a, I don't want to say standard or traditional because that's definitely not what I'm going for, but Mahomes is so fucking out there. Did you see the pick he threw? The pick that he threw that went off his tight end's hands and got picked by Asante Samuel, the guy was wide open. What did Mahomes try to do? He tried to throw a no-look fucking pass to this guy.
I told you he does these things. You kept saying the game's fucking fixed last week.
He's an
asshole. He tries to do these things all the time.
Do you think Justin Herbert would throw the fucking wide-open tight end who's 20 yards down the field, who could have ran for another 20, a no-look pass? Come on, man. I'm done with Mahomes. I'm done, and I really believe this is where the Chiefs go. The Chiefs are last place right now, bro. They're 1-2. They're 1-2. They have two losses in September.
I'm not worried.
This
I'm not
is
worried
what
about
I
the
called.
Chiefs.
I'm calling the Chiefs' demise, and it's happening. It's happening in front of our eyes.
Let's not start panicking yet on the fucking Chiefs. You're out of your mind with that statement.
I'm not panicking because I'm predicting it. I predicted it fucking 3 months ago. It's coming now, and you wait. They don't have a defense, and they didn't have a defense. I completely agree with you with that. They've never had a fucking defense. It's all been on Mahomes and all that. These teams are learning, and on top of that, these other teams' quarterbacks are saying, hey, Mahomes, fuck you. I got balls too. Watch this. And that's what I loved about Herbert. That's what I loved about Staley saying, fuck you, we're not waiting. Yeah, maybe are they fucking, they're a little worried about their kicker, a little shaky, sure. And that guy, you want to talk about blowing it for a bunch of people as far as fantasy and for betting. This guy missed 2 extra points. If you notice, he missed
I know.
point.
And that at the end. That's why
he
that's what I
missed
was
the
saying.
over. The over was 54 and a half. They finished at 54.
I was talking shit, being like, dude, I can't believe they threw. I mean, I was happy they threw the ball for fantasy purposes, and it made the game more exciting. But I was like, why the fuck wouldn't you just run the clock out and just kick the field goal? And then I saw him kick the extra point, and he missed it. And I'm like, this guy really is the worst. He really is the worst. There's no way this guy's on the team next week. How do you not replace this fucking kicker? And then they try to cover it up on TV. They're like, oh, well, I think it's because of the wind conditions.
Yeah.
I didn't see Bucker, whatever the fuck his name is, miss any kicks.
Yeah, exactly.
He was kicking all day.
And the shame of it is the fucking Chargers, they just got rid of Michael Badgley, who was fucking awful. 75% kicker. He was fucking terrible. They finally said, let's get rid of this guy, bring this Vizcaino kid in. And now he missed a fucking 2 extra points after he missed a field goal in the game against Dallas. And then, you're going to tell me that people are like, oh, I want the over 54.5, and this guy misses the extra point to send it to 55 at the end of the game. Unbelievable. But I'll tell you, it's this is the beginning of the demise, and I already called it. So this is where we'll put down. I believe this is where Kansas City starts going down.
Your boy, I think it was Romo, said it yesterday, and I'm fully on board with it. I think yesterday was the birth of the Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert rivalry.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It's got potential to be like a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning type of rivalry if these guys continue to ascend.
And the best part is you'll get it twice a year. We only got Brady Manning once a year. We're getting fucking Herbert and Mahomes twice a year. It's going to be fantastic. Now you want to talk about a young quarterback, young guy who's not ready, or he needs to get a new coach and a new general manager because
Zach Wilson?
The Chicago Bears, we ain't getting there yet, buddy.
The Bears.
We can't let them off the hook, but we won't. But let me get to Chicago first. Justin Fields, okay?
This kid looks awful, dude.
We all know that from the get-go, I have been down on Ohio State quarterbacks. I don't consider Justin Fields an Ohio State quarterback just yet because he was a Georgia kid. He did go to Georgia, but I think it ain't going to fucking prove my point wrong, I'll tell you that, unless he gets a new coach. But
it's week one. It's the first game, and he's a rookie, but it does not look good. Keep going, though. Keep going.
I just got to talk about this real quick before we get to, of course, the game of the week with the Bucs and the Rams. But here's the thing. Justin Fields had 1 passing yard total. He had 68 yards passing, 67 yards sacked.
I know.
That's awful.
I know.
That's like unbelievable. But here's the thing. It's his first fucking game against Cleveland's defense, who is nasty, in Cleveland. But you think, okay, this is a great chance for this kid to show what he's got. You know who was also a great chance to show what they got? Oh, Matt Nagy, the fucking coach who was all of a sudden the offensive genius that came over from the Chiefs, and they hired him to be all this fucking holy shit different looking plays. And when they had Trubisky, they ran that quadruple option and blah, blah, blah. This guy's offense is so bad that they had 1 passing yard in 2021 in the NFL. 1 passing yard. When Cleveland played Kansas City, when Cleveland even played Davis Mills and Tyrod Taylor in Houston, they had not 1 passing yard. Give me a fucking break. This is not on Justin Fields. I'm sorry. Justin Fields.
How is it not?
Does he have to throw the ball or run a lot faster and process shit a lot faster than he did yesterday? Of course. But the coaching staff, especially this genius in Matt Nagy, has to put him in the right fucking spots.
I mean, I agree with you and I disagree with you. I agree with you that coaching sucks, and I agree with you the play calling sucks. But at the same time, you could be in the worst offensive system ever. 1 passing yard is not acceptable. And when I was watching the game, I was watching with Dr. Tomas, and they were making the comment about this kid getting fucking pummeled back there with the offensive line. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's true. Like, he's a rookie. Maybe he's holding on the ball a little too long. He's getting beat back there. The offensive line apparently sucks. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. I get it, Cleveland's defense, and it's a great defense. But you know what else is a great defensive line, especially, is the Rams. And you know who went up against the fucking Rams defense with the same offensive line? Andy fucking Dalton, who can't move. I mean, he moves a little bit, but he can't move like Justin Fields. If anything, Justin Fields should be like a Jalen Hurts situation. He should go in there and make this offensive line look better because he can move. So how the fuck do I have a rationale of why he looked worse when a kid who can actually move back there is getting fucking
But Scotty, here's the issue, and you just mentioned it, and I'm glad you said it, because Nick Sirianni and the Eagles staff, they made the offense to Jalen Hurts. What Matt Nagy and the Chicago Bears coaching staff is doing right now is putting Justin Fields in the Andy Dalton offense. What the fuck are they doing? Like, that's the problem. Sirianni completely revamped Philly's offense to make it work for Hurts and the guys that they have.
And I get that, and that's definitely on coaching. I understand that completely. But let me ask you this. Because they said, and I couldn't believe when they said it, they said when Andy Dalton comes back from injury, it's still his job to lose.
That's why I'm saying they got to go.
Well, what I'm saying, though, to you, or I'm asking you right now is, just maybe, do you think the coaching staff sees things we don't and really believes Justin Fields just ain't ready?
No, I really believe that this coaching staff is so fucking incompetent that they don't even know how to save their asses. They don't understand that Andy Dalton is not going to win them more than 8 games. So how would that save your job?
Because what I tell you, I told you that before the season started, I said I give Andy Dalton probably week 3 or week 4, but I could even see longer. And the reason I said that is because if I'm trying to save my job, like psychologically, the way I would do it is I would have a guy like Andy Dalton who I know could maybe get me 1 or 2 wins in the beginning. And even if he sucks, if Fields comes in and wins, even if he sucks in the beginning, if he wins like the last 5 or 6 games and we go on a little spree, I can go to ownership and be like, look, we didn't start Justin from the get-go because he wasn't ready, but you see how he turned out. Like, we just need more time with him. Give us 1 more season with Justin Fields. Where if you start Justin Fields from week 1 and you suck, they're going to be like, bro, you had the whole season and he sucked. So what's your reasoning? You know what I mean? Like, you give yourself a little bit of leeway when you start a guy with Andy Dalton and you say, look, we were trying to ease him in, and maybe it wasn't the best decision, but you see what we have and what we can do when we got this guy ready to roll.
Yeah, I can't argue with that at all, except the fact that they didn't put Fields in the best spot to win. If you were going to say, hey, listen, we're going to get Andy Dalton acclimated to this basic type of offense, and that's the offense we're going to run when Dalton's in, cool. And then once Fields comes in, we're going to shock the fucking world. They threw Fields into their same ass offense. It's like, I don't understand. So that's why they got to go. I think the GM's got to go, just like the Giants. We'll talk about that in a second.
They got a clean house.
I think they got a clean house.
And real quick on the Cleveland side, I thought Baker started off pretty shaky, but then he looked okay. He's kind of weird. He's like a mix between like a game manager and a guy who can get it done. I don't know what to think about Baker really yet. I know you're not sold on him, but to me, I'm like 50-50. And then real quick, I just wanted to mention a little shout out to little Greg Newsome sighting. I saw him make a couple batted passes, which was fucking great to see. I think that kid's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, if he can play and they put him next to Denzel Ward, I mean, holy shit, I don't know how you throw. Plus Garrett and Clowney coming after you, fucking forget about it. But yeah, with Cleveland, I think they're just fine. Hand the ball off to Chubby and Hunt. I mean, Hunt's fantastic. Hunt's a top 10 running back. He's their second guy. It's unreal.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say to you real quick, and I want to kind of move on from this because we're spending too much fucking time on the Browns and the fucking Bears right now, but I gotta say is I'm like torn between Baker Mayfield, and the biggest reason is because if he can't get something significant done this year, and I mean at least an AFC championship, maybe a Super Bowl appearance, but at least an AFC championship appearance with a solid record, I got to really question, because this team is so built around him. I see guys like Sam Darnold going to a team that's got a little bit built around him, or guys like Josh Allen who's got something to town around him, and this guy's got it all, and feels like he's struggling more than half the other quarterbacks of these younger quarterbacks in the league. Like, why are you not getting things done, man? You have a phenomenal team from top to bottom. It's like unreal.
Yeah, I don't know where the Oklahoma Baker Mayfield went. The Oklahoma Baker Mayfield was a fucking ballsy quarterback who'd take chances, who'd run the ball. He looks like he's trying to dumb himself down to be like this NFL quarterback when the league is turning into as much college quarterbacking as it has ever been. So I don't know why he's trying to be a little bit more conservative. I believe that they need to run the ball. When he needs to take his shots and take his chances, I think he's got to be electric, and he's not. He just tries to be Drew Brees almost. He tries to be surgical with the ball. That's not him. And I don't think Cleveland wins a Super Bowl until
that is him. What are you talking about? He used to be surgical in college. He's the most accurate college quarterback in history.
No, we're talking about he used to do it on the run. He used to do it with crazy bombs. They don't do that.
Yeah, I get that, but he's still the most accurate by statistics. He's the most accurate quarterback in college history. So
I think
when coming in, I didn't expect a lot of picks like he's had in the NFL. So maybe he's just fucking all fucked up because of all the picks he threw in the last couple of years, that he's trying to dumb it down like you're saying. But I agree. He doesn't. I don't feel like he has that moxie that he used to have. Yeah. And it's like you almost need that for this Browns team, because it's like it's the Browns, man. They've been in the basement, man. They've been irrelevant. I know. Unless you're a Browns fan, and even a Browns fan. But
hey, just run the ball, Cleveland. Keep playing defense, and just hope that you don't play Kansas City in the playoffs, because you can't beat Kansas City. Unfortunately, I think there's a curse against Mayfield and the Chiefs. But according to my predictions and calculations, they won't even be in the playoffs. So don't worry about it. Okay, now let's get to the fucking Rams. Your second team now. All of a sudden, this is your fucking second team.
This is not my second team.
The way you talk about them, you're shooting in your shorts about the Rams and McVay and Stafford all over the place. But
I fucking picked the fucking Bucks to win this game.
I know, but because we love Tommy, that's why we did it. We didn't realize that. Oh, wait a minute,
We
they're down.
We don't love Tommy.
They're down.
You love Tommy.
They're down. Fucking 2 now starting cornerbacks after Jamel Dean gets hurt. They're down Murphy, Bunting, and Dean. So now they're down to their fucking 3rd, 4th, 5th, corners. Then, oh, that's right. They're losing JPP, their fucking top pass rusher with Shaq Barrett. He ain't there. Oh, and then the guy named Antonio Brown ain't gonna play either. So I don't take a lot of stock from this game as far as what we're going to see in January, but I will say that it's very reminiscent of when Tampa Bay lost to the Rams last year and lost to the Chiefs last year, and then they said, oh, let's be smart and learn from our fucking losses and then go on a tear and win the fucking chip. And I think that's what's going to happen again. They may not be home because they lost this game, and the Rams may have the tiebreaker when it comes down to it, but I'm not going to bet against Brady even though we lost yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it.
I did say it, like, it wouldn't shock me if the Rams won because I do think they have a firepower. I'm just not betting against Tom Brady. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think what happened yesterday was the dumbest thing the Rams could have done because I am one of the biggest believers in how hard it is to beat team 2 times, if not 3 times, especially if it's your division. 3 times is like impossible. So beating a team twice is like let's be honest. The Bucks and Rams are probably going to see each other in the playoffs. And if that's the case, the odds are already against the Rams because the chance of them beating them twice is already fucking slim.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't a good move from the Rams, but it was an impressive showing. I do think people need to stop fucking sucking off this Bucks defense. I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again this year. Their secondary, I know they've got some injuries now, but even last year, their secondary's been trash. And everyone's like, oh, the defense is so good. There's something people need to start looking at, and this has always been a thing. Anytime a team is number 1 in one defensive side of the ball, like number 1 stopping the run or number 1 stopping the pass, look at the other aspect. Because if it's not top 5, it's not a good defense. Because what happens is the reason why the Bucks might be number 1 against the run, which they were last year, and I don't know what they are this year, but I know they're also still very good against the run, is because everyone throws on them because they know that's their weakness. It happens, man. It used to be the same thing with the Jets back in the day. We used to be like number 1 against the pass, but not against the run. It's because no one could throw on us, but they could run the fuck on us.
Yeah.
It's like teams will attack your weakness. So it buffers one stat over the other. That doesn't mean you have a great fucking defense because people throw that out. Oh, they're number 1 against the run. Oh, they must be the fucking best defense in the league or one of the top 3 defense. No, they can't stop a fucking pass in the secondary. So they got hot last year. Out.
They got hot last year,
and I agree. They got the bend don't break defense. Same thing as Kansas City last year in the playoffs.
But you got to say, I mean, Murphy Bunting was their second corner last year. Carlton Davis is their number 1. Murphy Bunting's number 2, and Jamel Dean's their number 3. And both of those guys were now out of the Rams game. So
I agree. I'm just saying it was already a struggling secondary, and then it got more injured. So I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, people need to understand that this team, you can throw on them. So when you get a high-powered quarterback like a Matthew Stafford, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I'm still not betting against Tommy in the playoffs, especially a guy like Stafford on a big stage. I'm surprised he pulled that out on a big stage.
Yeah, big stage. I mean, week 3, I don't know. Week 3, I don't continue my thoughts on thinking it's a big stage. But I will say, after the shitty start that Stafford had, I will say I was shocked that he did come back and throw some big balls when they needed to. We all know that Rams defense is fantastic, but there are ways to beat it. Tommy just, I think he was missing Antonio Brown. I really do. And I think the Rams offense, by consistently putting up touchdowns, put them in bad holes. Honestly, with this Rams offense, with missing Henderson yesterday, and the fact that they were so one-dimensional with Stafford just throwing the ball to Kupp and throwing the ball downfield to Deshaun. I don't know, man. I think when they're going to have to run the ball and when they're going to get a team that's going to score with them or put some pressure on that defense, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, again, I said the Rams have 12 out of 17 games indoors. I think that's huge. And I think this game that they beat the Bucs in, I think this is the leader for maybe the Rams to have the number 1 seed in the conference so they're home all playoffs. So
I'm telling you right now, they need to only play Deshaun Jackson like 3 snaps a game and just have him run burn routes because if they want to do any damage in this postseason, they need Deshaun Jackson healthy. And if he plays more than 3 snaps, this guy's going to get fucking hurt.
I agree with
you.
So
you need this dude for the fucking – you need to save this guy because postseason, this guy's going to burn motherfuckers
Yeah.
because he's still fast as fuck. And no, he takes every top off defense. And Stafford's got the cannon, the type of cannon that can just air it out, and he'll just go under it. So if they don't keep him healthy, it's going to be a big loss, and they need to consider that.
Completely agree with you. I also noticed that last year they did this, Tampa Bay, and they did it again against the Rams. They stopped running the football. I don't give a shit whether you're down 7, 14. I get when you're down 21 plus, whatever. You're not going to run the ball. But you got to keep the fucking defense a little bit honest. And the fact that their running game is pretty damn good when it goes. So they can't get away with that. Arians can't just, start flinging the ball fucking 60 times a game because he thinks he has to or he thinks that the other team is going to do that. Get your fucking run game in. You got fucking Rojo. You got Fourney. You got, Bernard to catch ball to the backfield. They just seemed too one-dimensional last night, Tampa Bay. So, like I said, I'm not worried about it. I'll pull the old fucking Aaron Rodgers for you in RELA fucking X. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, real quick before we move on, because we got to get off this one too. But Rojo, what the fuck's up with this dude? He fucking is missing for 2 weeks. Then he showed up a little bit this past week. There was questions about his focus on the game. What the fuck is up with this man?
I don't know. He went to Florida State. That's his problem. But I don't I don't know. And again, Fournette, I don't know why he only plays in the playoffs. I don't get it.
I mean, he's been playing way better than fucking Rojo. I'll tell you that.
I agree. But Bernard looks amazing. All right, now here's the one game that we didn't see eye to eye on, and you beat me the last fucking second, you son of a bitch. But a 31-28 OT win for the Vegas Raiders should have been a nice 8-point win at the end of the fourth fucking quarter. But the Raiders defense decided to wilt and gave Jacoby Brissett and the Miami Dolphins a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to get to OT. But Derek Carr is so fucking clutch, man. I mean, I don't know. It's all coming together for this guy.
No. Listen, we don't even have to go into break this game down that much because there's not that much to talk about. There's one thing I'm going to talk about. If you watch this game, if you didn't see what I saw, you're fucking out of your mind.
Here we go.
Here's the thing. Overtime.
Yep.
Right before, it was 25-25.
Yep.
Right before they kicked the field goal. There's 2 plays, damn near back-to-back. I think there might have been 3 plays in between. One was for a first down of Jacoby Brissett. He threw it. The ball is coming right in the fucking guy's hands. And the defender literally pushes the wide receiver to the point where the ball hits him right in the shoulder. No pass interference called. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, we're gonna go to the officiating
on
now.
fourth down.
Okay.
Listen to me. On fourth down, Jacoby Brissett makes a crazy play for that first down. Incredible. They go. Then the fucking throw to Will Fuller in the fucking end zone. The guy goddamn near mugged him in the fucking end zone before the ball gets there. No flag again. You don't even give a makeup call for the first one, dude. I was done after that. After that point, 2 back-to-back basically. Like I said, it was within 5 plays. It was 2 blatant pass interferences in an overtime game. That would have changed everything. That pass interference would have put them on the goal line. Are you kidding me? The Miami Dolphins should have walked away with this fucking thing. I agree. I agree with you that the fucking Raiders blew it at the end there, and it maybe shouldn't have gone to overtime. But that's part of the game. What's not part of the game is missing back-to-back fucking calls on a fucking overtime situation.
Well, I will tell you,
the Vegas. You telling me they haven't gotten to those officiating crew?
Okay.
That's the easiest crew to get to. They're right in your fucking backyard.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you what. If we want to talk about officiating, we can make our own fucking podcast about officiating because you can go to every fucking game, and these fucking zebras are terrible.
How many games did you watch yesterday where there was 2 blatant incidences that would have decided the game in the last 2 minutes of the game?
Well, there's
not a lot.
Yeah, there's a fairly blatant fucking call that in the Baltimore-Detroit game that they didn't call that goddamn delay a game to even give Justin Tucker the chance for a 66-yarder. And they missed that too. But if you want to talk about officiating, there were so many bad calls. Green Bay, San Fran. There were bad calls in the Atlanta Giants game. I mean, it's all over the place. But listen, when it comes down to it, Derek Carr is a new quarterback. And somehow Gruden is not blowing these games like he used to. So, you got to give Vegas credit. Real quick, Miami, they need Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry.
No, they don't.
They need a guy who can
They
be
need,
dynamic. They need to be dynamic. Brissett didn't do shit. You got to think they had a pick six. Miami had a pick six, and Vegas turned the ball over on their own 34 to give that offense a short field.
Miami needs Nathan Peterman. That's what they need to go get.
Well, that's what Brissett plays like. Now, listen, speaking of Nathan Peterman, I think Robert Saleh maybe needs Nathan Peterman.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Let's go to Mile High and the 26-0 close game between the Broncos and Jets. The Jets were almost there. They almost pulled the win out for you, like you called.
Yeah, I went to the doctor. It was definitely gas.
Like I told you, I mean, just look at the top left, the top left of your medicine cabinet, and there was
my gut feeling was definitely just gas. There was no good feeling.
You got to be loaded up on the lactate, baby. Now, I think the number one pick is coming for the Jets. Unfortunately,
It's too soon to tell.
I do like the fight, but you got to tell me.
I was just telling Dr. Tomas. Look, let me just get it all out there.
I'm not trying to pile it on, but just tell me a team.
No. Let me just get it all out there because I don't want to spend too much time on this fucking terrible game. One, I was just telling Dr. Tomas, you can say, compared to some of these other rookie quarterbacks, you can say Zach Wilson, Carolina, New England with Belichick going against a rookie, and Denver. They're three top defenses in the league if you consider Belichick.
Completely agreed.
So that's a tough situation. Yep. Second point, I don't know what Zach Wilson's doing. I don't know if he's scared or what, but this guy's taking like a 30-step drop back. I don't know if you noticed this. Yep. He's turning five-yard throws into like 20-yard throws because he's dropping back he's like running backwards. Like we're about to get a safety every time the guy drops back for a pass. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
At BYU, he did a lot of crazy shit back there.
I don't know why he's doing that. I don't know why he's not stepping up. I don't know if he's scared. I don't know what it is. He's made some decent throws, but and then when he does, sometimes like you get like easy drops. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then third thing, the bonehead fucking, I don't know if you saw this. Speaking of kickers, our kicker's been phenomenal. This kid Amendola is fucking tits, dude. But it's hard to fucking make a kick. He makes whatever it was, like a fucking 56-yard kick or something. Like it was a pretty far kick. It was like a 56-yard kick or something. Makes it no problem. Then they got to fucking bring it back because it's a delay a game on the fucking snapper and holder. How the fuck does that happen? I don't know. Is that Robert Saleh? Is that the fucking snapper? Who is it? I know they had like a new holder or something, but that was a fucking joke. And then lastly, and then we can move on. I don't know what's going on with Denzel Mims, but when you have a fucking quarterback who has all these fucking issues right now, why the fuck are you not putting a big body guy out there that can catch the ball? Why is this guy scratched 2 weeks in a row? If you're going to trade him, just fucking trade him because he's going to go somewhere and be a star. I'm telling you right now, I can already see it. I don't know why this fucking guy's not playing. I don't know why he's not a part of the team because right now, Zach Wilson can use all the help he can get. And Denzel Mims, the only fucking tall receiver other than maybe Corey Davis. Corey Davis isn't even like that tall. I think Mims is the only guy that's like 6'3", 6'4", whatever he is, that can actually catch the ball. So why is he not out there? I don't know.
Well, yeah, like we talked about, it's got to be something to do with him and Joey Douglas and something that's going on there that they don't
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, scratch.
They're gonna ship him off, and like you said, you're gonna be pissed off if he turns into the next fucking.
It's gonna be like the fucking
Jerry
next.
Rice.
Well, you know who he reminds me of, and I'm not gonna compare him to this yet because I don't know how good he's going to be, but his style is a mixture. It's like a Mike Evans or like a Des Bryant type of, where he's a 50-50 guy. He's a big body, he's physical, goes up, and he fucking pulls down the balls you don't expect him to catch. Every now and then, he might drop the easy little outs or something, but that's not what you use him for. You use him for the downfield 50-50 balls.
Yeah, second round pick that they're wasting right now, and they're probably going to get rid of, like you said. I just think it's because it was the previous coaching regime, and there must be something with the new coordinator and Saleh that doesn't want to play him. Yeah, I think their number one pick is coming. I don't see a team who's worse than this, to be honest, and they're ravaged with injury. So, I think they're going to take the number one pick. Let's go to Denver real quick. I think Steady Teddy is, 3-0. It's nice to look at, but I think he's going 0-4 in the next 4 games. Baltimore comes to them. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Then they have Vegas come to them, and then they got to go to Cleveland. I think he's going to go 0-4 in the next 4 games. They just don't look dynamic. The way that the Jets played yesterday, Denver should have won by 40 points.
One positive thing on both sides, Javonte Williams looks great, and
he's got a hold on the ball, big fumble at the end of the game.
Yeah, I know, but he still looks good. He's young.
Absolutely.
And the other positive thing for the Jets, Part of the reason why they used Javonte Williams so much is because Melvin Gordon lost his pride and his soul somewhere on the goal line in the first fucking quarter. C.J. Mosley fucking destroyed
Did you see
this
that
kid.
hit? My God.
Holy shit. I watched it live. I thought he was dead.
Woo! Yeah, Mosley, bro, it looks like he's lost about 20 pounds, but he still fucking hits, man. That was an unbelievable hit on Gordon, man. It was crazy. But like I said about Javonte, big fumble going in. He's going to get a touchdown at the end of the game, fumble. But, yeah, I'm with you. Javonte's the guy, but Denver is just they're going to need to get themselves a quarterback that's dynamic for sure as well. Now, talking about a dynamic quarterback, boy. The Buffalo Bills, they were really struggling with that first loss against the Steelers opening week. They ain't struggling no more. The problem with Josh Allen, though, in the Buffalo Bills, even though they crushed the Washington football team and their massively fucking overrated defense, 43-21.
Yeah, I'm done with this defense, too.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Absolutely. But he's still 100% of that offense. He's the running back. He's the quarterback. He should be the fucking wide receiver and the tight end too. But you know, as much as Buffalo looks great and they look like they're back to form, I want to get to Washington because me and you were all over this fucking defense all offseason. This is definitely, and I'm not just being a fucking prisoner of the moment, this is definitely the most overrated defense I've ever seen. Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know why. It just is.
The studs that this fucking team has, Ron Rivera and his organization, how they always play defense wherever he's at. They give up 43 points. They gave up almost 30 points to the fucking Giants the week before. The most overrated defense I've ever seen. Chase Young doesn't have a goddamn sack. Okay? Like, you know, now is it Chase Young? Is it the defense themselves? Who the hell knows? Most overrated defense I've ever seen. They're done. They're going to finish in the fucking basement with the Giants.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be that bad, but they're definitely overrated. And honestly, I've never been a big Ron Rivera fan. I know a lot of people love him. To me, he's like a nice guy. I don't think he's as good of a coach as people think. I think he's been put in a lot of good situations, to be honest with you. I know this Taylor Heineke thing is not a good situation, but he's been like Carolina has always had like a decent amount of talent when he was there, and then now Washington's got actually a shit ton of talent other than the quarterback. So I don't understand how both these teams, to me. I'm talking about Carolina and Washington when Ron Rivera was there, except for the year that they went to the Super Bowl, and they probably should have won that Super Bowl, so you can almost still say it. Both those organizations, when he was there, kind of like underperformed of what they probably should have been.
Consistently, yes. He's an inconsistent coach, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, I think he's a player's coach. I think he will right the ship, and he did that with Washington for the most part from what they used to be. But, oh boy, I mean, they're in trouble. Now, if they can get a guy like Watson, then I'll fucking rewrite the script because their offense is abysmal.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
They're
keep
going. They're wasting Antonio Gibson. I mean, he's fucking fantastic. And McLaurin should be like a Stephon Diggs. He should be getting the ball thrown to him 12 to 15 times a game. And he's not.
By the way, why the fuck did Josh Allen not throw to Diggs like at all in that game? He like barely got the ball.
I know. Well, because he was too busy fucking running and throwing it to everybody else who was still open. So Buffalo crushes Washington, and like I said, Washington and the Giants will be in the basement. Speaking of the Giants, hey, I called it, Scotty. You got to get off this fucking bandwagon.
I'm about to.
You have to. You know.
I'll give it one more week. One more week.
Oh boy.
Atlanta. They win next week. I'm back on.
Atlanta and the Giants. I just don't see how it happens because I think they're a friggin' mess. The Giants had some big injuries. Blake Martinez out for the year now, their leading tackler, and Sterling Shepard's going to miss some time as well with a hammy. They're a fucking mess, and it's time for a complete overhaul with them. Get Gettleman out of there. Get Garrett out of there. He's probably, I thought, with Dallas, one of the most boring, predictable offensive play callers that this league's ever seen. And now he's just transferred it to the Giants with a quarterback who actually has some fucking potential, actually has a little bit of gas in his tank with Daniel Jones. If you're going to make him like Andy Dalton, then he's going to suck. But if you want to have him be a fucking Trey Lance type or someone like that to where he's going to run a bunch of RPOs and use his legs, I think this kid could be something. He could be.
No,
he can't be in the Giants stuff. Not with the Giants.
He's a backup quarterback in this league.
With the Giants, yeah. If he can go to a fucking team
in life, he's a backup. I don't believe it.
We'll see. The Giants are a mess.
He's not very. He doesn't impress me at all. There's
Giants
nothing I see that I'm like. I don't even see flashes. The only time I see flashes is when this kid's running the ball. And yeah, that's something. But to me, if your only flashes as a quarterback is running the ball, we got a fucking problem. That's my issue with a lot of these other quarterbacks.
We got a fucking problem.
If it's like escapability or reading the defense or throwing deep balls or throwing short balls or fucking, I don't know, moving up in the pocket, like even your leadership, like all those things, I can say, okay, maybe. Running the ball, you're not a fucking running back, dude. Like,
I got you.
To me, it's a problem. And I didn't want to call this out too soon, but I don't have a lot to talk about with these fucking Falcons. I got to say real quick, this offense, I don't know why you were shooting in your shorts about it, because you really think about it, Mike Davis is a fucking backup running back who's playing well, but he's a backup running back as their starter. They have fucking Kyle Pitts, Mr. fucking Pots and Pans, who has underperformed. You and Dr. Tomas sucking this guy off. He really hasn't done shit. And then you got Calvin Ridley, who's a stud. Other than that, that's it. You got Cordell Patterson there now. They don't really have shit on offense. It's like they got a rookie tight end and a backup running back as their starter. They got a guy who's his first year being the number one wide receiver, and a Cordell Patterson who was like a journeyman fucking special teamer as their next best fucking weapon. I mean, this offense doesn't really got shit, dude.
Well, you took it right out of my mouth. I was going to say the two big things at Atlanta are why isn't Kyle Pitts getting 10 targets a game, and what the fuck are they doing with this running game? Mike Davis is not a backup. Mike Davis could be a starter in the right system, and I thought the Arthur Smith fucking Tennessee Titan, Derrick Henry-led offensive play calling coming over to Atlanta was going to benefit him. No. They're like not fucking running the ball, number one. Number two, when they do, they're running with a wide receiver in the fucking backfield like Cordell Patterson is. Then Kyle Pitts is the most unicornish type of tight end that you could ever have. And they're not using him, number one, like a tight end. And number two, they're not even really using him as a split end. So it's like, and if you're not going to feed him the fucking ball and you're going to give Olamide Zacchaeus more fucking targets than Kyle Pitts, I have no idea what they're doing. So this game was literally your favorite saying, in the fucking land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And that's the fucking Atlanta Falcons, who won on a 17-14 score with a last-second Younghoe Koo field goal to beat the Giants in MetLife on Eli Manning Day, which is even another kick in the balls for Giants fans. But I don't know what Atlanta's doing. They should have been the fucking offensive show on turf, all year, and they're not doing it. And the Giants, like I said, need a complete overhaul. So,
is this one of the games I got right and you got wrong though? Because the Giants covered, right?
No, the Giants were favored. So I said Atlanta was going to win the game outright.
Oh, I thought Atlanta was favored.
No. But let's get to another game where a quarterback also looks like he's done, and that's the fucking Cincinnati Bengals beating the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh 24-10, even with conservative play calling from Zach Taylor still with Cincinnati. The Pittsburgh Steelers only muster up 10 fucking points with Big Ben. I told you he was done. He's done. He's done. They're garbage. They need another quarterback.
Let's be real here. I'm not going to accept your "I told you so" speech because I don't think he was done before the season. I think
I did.
I think I know, but I don't think he was. I still don't think he is. I think the problem is when the guy gets fucking hit 50 times a game and he's fucking going to be 40 years old or however old he is, like 38 or whatever he is. Like, yeah, it's going to be a fucking issue. So I think yesterday was a perfect showing of how bad Dwayne Haskins is, because I don't think Big Ben was playing healthy. I think he was in pain. I don't think he had the right motion. He did not look right, dude. There is no fucking way. And because of that, if you want to add injury into the whole factor, then yes, I agree with you. Big Ben is done. I think he's over. I think this is the last chance was his last year, and he clearly can't stay healthy. So I agree with you. But I think if he had a better offensive line and was able to stay healthy, I think this team would have done more. But you did say the offensive line was going to make it impossible for him to succeed. And with that being said, then yes, you are correct. But I don't think he was done, as in like he can't throw the ball anymore. But I think yesterday was a showing of his pec is fucked. His tits torn.
His tits are torn. Huh? His fucking tits are torn, and he's out of at least one tit. I'm going to tell you this. Yeah, I mean, you can say that about anybody. Let's put fucking Peyton Manning back in the game, and if everything's perfect, he's still going to look great too. But
No, I didn't say
everything's not
anything perfect. I'm just saying you don't get hit 50 times
I'm just
a
saying
game.
he needs everything to be perfect. Big Ben needs everything to be perfect, and everything is not even close. And he's showing you that he's an almost 40-year-old quarterback who is not in sync with his fucking offensive coordinator. And when they don't have their pass rush with J.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith being gone, they couldn't generate anything on Joe Burrow.
Juju went out of the game. This guy can't stay fucking healthy either.
And, hey, what'd I tell you again? Jamar Chase, 2 touchdowns. You know how he scored those 2 touchdowns? Off coverage. What are they doing? Every fucking time this guy makes a big play, I look at the screen and the corner's 7 yards off him. Why? Why? Someone's got to get on that. This kid's nasty if you don't touch him. If you do not touch him or force him off anything, he will roast you, and fucking Burrow knows it. And another 2 touchdowns for Jamar Chase. Unbelievable. Cincinnati wins 24-10. And Cincinnati, Scotty, is 2-1.
I don't want to hear it.
2-1. Can't wait for the wild card. Now, here we go. Here we go. Let's go to you got to love seeing this. We both called the New Orleans Saints. We're going to kick the shit out of the Patriots, and they did. New Orleans wins 28-13 in Foxborough, making Big Mac fucking Jones look like a rookie, big time with his 3 picks. And I'm not betting against Sean Payton off of a loss. He is fantastic when they come off of a loss. And he did the right thing. I think with Winston and Hill, he kind of peppered in both of them, and it paid off.
Look, the Giants back in the day, the Jets back in the day, the Patriots back in the day, and the Patriots as of pretty recent, Bill Belichick's been a part of all those teams, and every time he was on those coaching staffs, those teams did excellent. So I do believe, and yeah, Parcells was with him for most of those trips too. I do believe, though, he is a fantastic coach, possibly the best coach of all time. I do believe he is a very valuable asset to any organization. But I am telling you right now, this season, if not ever before, is showing how much Tom Brady actually covered up a lot of this bullshit, because he does not. This team does not look the same without fucking Tom Brady back there. I mean,
we got to delve into that, because I'm not really willing to go on the limb and say Belichick is the best coach of all time if we talk about when he didn't have Tom Brady. We have to figure out
as a head coach, or as a defense coordinator.
As a head coach, I don't think there's any better defensive coordinator than Belichick. There can't be. He's the best
that's
what I'm
saying.
In the
all the teams that he's been on, like the Giants, they won Super Bowls. The Jets had their best year ever in '98. He was on the staff.
Yeah, but who was that? I mean, I love Parcells. Parcells may be the best coach of all time. Okay, so I'm not ready to fucking.
But Parcells didn't do a whole lot without Belichick either. When he went to the Cowboys, they didn't do a whole lot.
Well, they were 13-3. They looked fucking badass. I'll tell you, I just don't think Belichick is going to do anything without Tom Brady, and that's not what the coach or the best coach of all time would do. You know what I'm saying? So, I really believe that it was Brady over Belichick. They helped each other out, no fucking doubt.
No, they need each other,
Yeah.
but I do believe the fact that Brady made like no mistakes, and that was the biggest thing. That allows Belichick to do what he does on defense.
Absolutely. Tommy winning a Super Bowl, then the next year going to a different team. I mean, it's a big thing. It's a huge thing. So, but that was a big loss, and I think now people are going to get the blueprint on how to play. Teams will get the blueprint on how to play Mac Jones.
By the way, whatever savings you got, you dump it all on fucking the Bucks next week. I'll tell you that.
Oh man. We did not think.
I'm taking out a $50,000 loan to fucking put on the Bucks next week.
We did not think Tampa Bay was going to be coming off a loss going to New England.
Holy
shit! So that line's going to be interesting to see, Scotty. I got to imagine that line's going to be somewhere around 9 or 10, and I would take it in a fucking heartbeat. Now let's go to the train station in Minneapolis, and apparently tickets went on sale. And a bunch of people bought them at a Groupon rate, and they got back on because the Minnesota Vikings have righted the ship a little bit, if you will. They kicked the shit out of the Seattle Seahawks yesterday, Scotty. 30-17.
Yeah, remember I said that line? Remember I said that line looked funny? It probably was because I didn't even think about it. It really was like a do or die game. So
it was a do or die game.
And it was I didn't realize it was their home opener either. I didn't realize that. And
we fucked up. We fucked up.
The thing is I keep forgetting. Like, I understand you have an advantage being home, But we keep forgetting, I think, when we talk about these spreads and shit, and it's kind of probably all done now because it's going to go week 4. I think everyone's played home at least at this point now. But we keep forgetting it's not only their home opener; it's some of these home openers from the first time in 2 years.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with fans. So sometimes it's going to be a lot bigger home advantage than in previous years.
But you're going to tell me, though, from what we've seen from Kirk Cousins, and you're going to tell me that what we've seen from Minnesota, that a home field was going to be enough to overwrite the fact that Dalvin Cook was not going to play in this game. So to me, there's
I didn't know Dalvin Cook wasn't playing either.
Two big indictments in this fucking game, one against Seattle and one against Dalvin Cook. Is it time, Scotty, to trade Dalvin Cook, number one? Number two, Seattle, we all know it's the Russell Wilson Island. We all know that. But what is going on with this defense now? We thought this
defense has always been shit. I told you.
I
know you thought it
resurgence.
was okay.
It had a
you thought it had a
resurgence.
resurgence. I don't trust this defense.
But now,
as far as I can throw it.
Now, unfortunately, I see Seattle now missing the playoffs like you called because this defense can't stop anybody. And now when Russell Wilson can't get the help from his offensive line that we thought was maybe a little bit fixed as well, they're in fucking trouble.
Yeah, and I might have been more right than I thought because I was already down on myself because I'm like, man, why'd I pass up on Russ? I think the same thing's going to happen that happened last year. I think Russ is going to try to do everything, and then mid-season he's going to burn out and he's going to fall off the fucking map.
I hope
so.
not.
So yeah, I mean, I hope not either because I like Russ.
I love him.
But what I'm saying is, fantasy purposes, he might be the kind of quarterback like he did for me last year, where he wins you the first 5-6 games, but then when it comes crunch time, you're gonna need a new quarterback. So maybe it wasn't a bad idea that I did pass on him.
And you don't think that Minnesota should trade Cook, seeing that what Madison did and how much you can get back for a Dalvin Cook for capital you can get in return for this guy?
I mean,
you really don't need him.
I guess, but what do you need really that's going to help you? Like secondary? What do you need? A front seven? What offensive line? I mean, I don't know what this fucking team needs.
They probably need, I'd say, secondary help, and I think they could probably use a tight end. But I don't know who you would trade that for. But definitely secondary, or definitely
why not just
some
trade a
high
first round
picks.
pick?
You can say some high picks so they can reload next year. I don't think they need Dalvin Cook, man. From what I saw out of Madison, from what they're getting in their other backs like Abdullah and C.J. Ham and anybody they usually bring in, I think Dalvin Cook is trade bait. I really would.
So why don't you trade Dalvin Cook for a first or second or whatever you can get for him, and then take that pick and trade it to the fucking Patriots for fucking Gilmore?
I'd love to. I'd love them to do that. I'd love them to go get a piece on that defense because it seems like they don't need Dalvin Cook. They just don't need him. And Cousins looked aggressive, which is not his bag. He hasn't thrown a pick yet, Scotty, this year. Unbelievable.
That's not my bag, baby.
Yes. So it looks like Minnesota's back to shagging. Now let's get to the AFC South champion, Tennessee Titans, as I called in the offseason. They beat the Indianapolis Colts, who are now 0-3, 25-16, and Carson Wentz is a fucking mess. Unbelievable.
Oh my God, this poor team.
Unbelievable. They put all their eggs in the fucking glass basket of Carson Wentz, and now it's going to cost not only Carson Wentz's job, I think it's going to cost Frank Reich his fucking job. And now Tennessee wins that division going away, in my opinion, because in the weakest division, I think, in the league, they will win that division by probably 3 games, but when it's all said and done.
Yeah, where the fuck is your boy Julio Jones? Where the fuck is your boy fucking A.J. Brown? I know he got hurt.
A.J. Brown, I hate to tell you, is one of the most generational talents I've ever seen at receiver. He won't live up to it because he's injury prone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. They got Westbrook and fucking Rodgers and fucking Batson, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, it's amazing what they're doing with who they have.
And then you got fucking Tannehill throwing bonehead picks sometimes.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I told you I wasn't sold on this team.
They're missing Arthur
coming
Smith.
More into fruition.
They're missing Arthur Smith big time, but for what they have and what they're doing, Tannehill has to just turn around, give the ball to the king, let him fucking roll, and then throw play action off of it. He'll get Julio back. Hopefully AJ will be sprinkled in all season, but he is just made of glass, unfortunately. The fact that they're doing with what they're doing with like you said, Batson and Chester Rogers and the kid Westbrook Akine, from Indiana. It's amazing. And they have no tight ends. Ferkser didn't play. and Ferkser's a first year kid starting. They don't have anything, and yet they're still winning games. So
Yeah, and then real
see.
quick, Wentz is a disaster. But why is Jonathan Taylor like one of the best backs in the league getting fucking 10 carries?
Because they're playing Naheem Hines, and they're sprinkling in Marlon Mack and Wilkins every once in a while. I don't understand. This kid's a fucking bell cow. He's been a bell cow since fucking 6th grade. Give him the ball. I don't understand. He's a Jersey kid. We got to love him. Jersey kid, killed it at Wisconsin. One of my favorite backs I've ever seen in college. And the Colts are playing him like 40% of the time. Why? It's they got to go. The whole offensive staff there was supposed to be, amazing. Reich and all, the guy, who's the other fucking guy they brought over from Philly? DiFilippo and the other kid that Press Taylor. They don't know shit.
Yeah, Press Taylor.
They don't know shit. The Indy's got to go. That the GM fucking put all the eggs in the glass basket of Wentz is ridiculous. But Indy's a fucking joke. And speaking of
give Philip Rivers a call, man. Give Philip Rivers
Philly,
a call.
bring him back. I would. Let's just get to the last game that we didn't talk about on Sunday, Scotty. And you want to talk about jokes? Let's go to Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a lead. They had a big lead on Arizona.
Yeah, but why did they have that lead? Because I was shocked. But did you see why they had that lead?
Because
that fucking field goal.
That field goal, Scotty, was unbelievable. So we're talking about
they said. I mean, I know it was before Justin Tucker, but it almost felt like, oh, Justin Tucker wants to do it. Hold my beer.
Exactly, and it was crazy.
2 yards further,
Prater said, "Hey, I got the record at 64." So fuck it, I'm just gonna beat it by 4 yards and kick a 68-yarder. Well, the mistake is they got Jamal Agnew, one of the craziest special teams player out there, sitting in the end zone for that short kick. He takes the fucking thing all the way back 109 yards. Gus Johnson on the call is fantastic. I love Gus Johnson, and he's going nuts shooting in his shorts. He had to go fucking replace his undies. And and Jacksonville is fucking fired up. Duval's going nuts. They think they got this game won, and then they get beat by 12. So Jacksonville and Urban Meyer are it's a shit show. They're fucking abysmal. I don't see it getting better. So Scotty, I think you got a shot, but
I don't think so
for not getting a #1 pick overall, and it's of course going to be your Jaguars again. But here's my thing about Kyler Murray. They win 31-19. They win by 12. He doesn't have a passing touchdown. He has a rushing touchdown and a big interception. But I think he is a front runner, and I think I've said that to you before. I don't like how he plays when they're coming from behind. They got to be in front for him to be playing his best. I don't like him to be trying to win the game from.
You talking about Kyler Murray?
Yes. And don't talk to me about the fucking Hail Murray from Buffalo. That was bullshit. So
I mean, he was behind on this game. He played pretty well.
Yeah, the defense had a lot to do with that, and and the running game. They finally handed the ball off to James Conner. Finally,
we had an AJ Green sighting as well.
Yes, we did. Yes, James.
Of course, it was the week I start Rondale Moore, but whatever.
Me too. Rondale Moore didn't jack shit, but that's the thing. They started running the ball, and they became maybe 2-dimensional instead of 1-dimensional, and we saw what happened with that. So.
Yeah, they're a fun team to watch, though, man. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
They're all over the place. And I will say this. It could be a very Merry Christmas. It could be a very sad Christmas. December 26th, Jacksonville Jaguars play the New York Jets.
Oh, they do. How about that? Holy
we're
shit.
Fucked. We'll probably win that game, and then the
tiebreaker
tiebreaker will go to the Jags. They'll get the #1 pick.
We all
the
know.
guy they pick will be a fucking Hall of Famer. The guy we pick will be a bust.
What do you mean tiebreaker? They're both going to be 0-15 for those fucking games.
Oh, Jacksonville doesn't have a win yet.
They don't have a win yet. They'll both be 0-15, and then
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So fuck tiebreaker. Now
I was thinking of Houston.
That's
Jacksonville's
amazing.
Gonna be
Merry fucking Christmas. Merry Jetsmas. How about that? Woo! All right, Scotty, that was Sunday. Now we got a Monday Night Football game that I wonder, do we want to change our picks on? My Dallas Cowboys host the Philadelphia fucking Eagles for Dr. Tomas and the Palots. Dallas is down 8 starters, 6 on defense and 2 on offense. Donovan Wilson, Neville Gallimore, Tankian O'Neal, Carlos Watkins and Dorrance Armstrong on defense, and Michael Gallup and La'el Collins on offense. They do get Randy Gregory back to rush the passer. But Philadelphia, though, to me, Scotty, has the big fucking names out. Brandon Graham, as we said, tore his Achilles. He's out for the season. Big pass rusher. 2 of the 5, 40% of their offensive line is out for this game. Brandon Brooks, their best guard is out. And their best offensive tackle, who they just gave $600 million to, Jordan Mailata, is out as well. and their starting safety Rodney McLeod still hasn't played a
Yeah,
game.
that's not good. I'm
They're
sticking with
huge.
my pick though.
Me too.
I'm saying Dallas goes. I think it's gonna be a good test for both teams.
Now,
Though.
do we
We're gonna
want
see how
him-
good we're gonna see how good Dallas's pass game is. We're gonna see how good Philly's pass defense is, and how good that defense really is. I know they got some injuries, but I think it's gonna be a good test for both squads. And I think this has become a 2-man race for this fucking NFC East.
I'm completely
winner.
with you. Completely with you. Eagles and Cowboys for sure. Can't wait to see how it is. I think it's going to be a fucking scoring show tonight. I would take the over and buy down. Now it's 3.5. So Dallas was favored by 4 when we picked. Buy down to 3 for Dallas, and we go to town from there. And Dallas will take the lead in the division. Now, for episode 31, we will now recap this Monday night game, and we will also recap the Thursday night football game for Week 4, and it's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey, did we get into any trade news today? I don't think we did. Did we talk about that?
Oh, trade news. Speaking of the Jaguars, you want to get into some trade news?
Yeah, let's talk about it real quick before we move on.
Okay.
Or before we finish up
So,
here, I guess.
What do you got for me, Scotty?
Dr. Tomas came to me early in the morning, hit me at the wrong time because I didn't really want to fucking see the jerk off just so soon.
That sounds
But he
terrible.
came
He
and-
woke you up in the morning and hit you at the wrong
Yeah.
time? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. You know how it is.
Okay.
So
Did he have to turn you over or no?
yeah,
All
that's
right.
it. He informed me that the Carolina Panthers are very nervous about their secondary. They've traded a 3rd rounder and their tight end, Dan Arnold, I believe his name is.
Oh,
Is that his
boy.
name?
No more
Two-
Darnold to Arnold.
No more Donald Arnold. To the Jacksonville Jaguars for C.J. Henderson, the former first-round pick. I think he was 9th overall, and what was it, 2 years ago, or whatever it
Yeah,
was?
wow. Holy shit. Well, so you're going to tell me that the J.C. Horn injury was such a big deal, which it was, and the fact that
Huge deal.
the news that came out that the Panthers have also reached out to Dick Sherman wasn't enough for them to say, you know what, we want this former first-round pick who's gotten roasted every game he's played in Jacksonville, C.J. Henderson, and we're going to get rid of our tight end who we really liked, but I would say the upcoming tight end that Carolina has in Tommy Tremble has made Dan Arnold expendable.
Yeah, they love this kid Trumbull. They
and-
think he's fucking doing great.
And I don't think I'm happy about it because now we can't say Darnold to Arnold. So
Yeah, but remember when we were doing our draft picks? I said they should have went after Fairmouth for Jacksonville.
yes,
I said to you, Lawrence needs a blanket.
Yeah.
And instead they fucking went Travis Etienne.
Yes.
Which was great, but I mean, look how that panned out because the guy's hurt.
yeah,
but-
no, you said Freiermuth in the first round, which I thought was a stretch in the first, but I know exactly what you were going for, and I think it was right on. Their 2 tight ends that they've had have been awful, Hollister and I believe it's Manhurst.
Hollister's
the other guy.
trash,
So,
bro.
you know,
he was awful in
awful.
Seattle.
So good move for
And
the Jags, I think.
Yeah, you don't like C.J. Henderson, correct?
No, I don't know.
I don't think he's that bad, but we'll see. Carolina really thinks they got a team here, though, so we'll see. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, well, they needed somebody because
And-
the way they played against Houston without J.C. Horn at the end of the game there was awful.
And we'll keep an eye on the Dick Sherman notice. Not that it's a big deal to me, but apparently there's a couple teams that have been reaching out to him, including Seahawks, I believe.
Yep.
Or no,
Yeah,
it was
Seahawks,
Seahawks. Him
Niners.
and Pete Carroll apparently have mutual interest.
It was
but there's
Seahawks,
like 2 or 3 teams.
Niners, and Bucks. Seahawks, Niners,
Oh, it
and
was
Bucks.
Bucks. That
Yeah.
was the Bucks was the other one.
Yeah.
It was Bucks was the other one that was very interested in him.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, he's going to be in the league soon. I just hope he keeps himself in shape. As we saw last night with San Fran bringing Josh Norman back, he's already spitting up blood and had to go out of the game and go to the hospital after last night.
He's a fucking
yeah,
joke.
keep yourself in shape. All right, so this was episode 30, baby. Episode 31, like I said, we will go over what happened in this Cowboys and Eagles game, and also we will go over and see if this pick from the Jacksonville Jaguars and Cincinnati Bengals game on Thursday night pans out. I like Cincinnati minus 7.5. What would you say, Scotty?
Nah, I'm taking Jacksonville to cover.
So you want Jacksonville to stay close within 7.5 to Cincinnati when they play Thursday night in Cincy.
Yep.
All right, baby.
Yep,
We'll
yep,
see if
yep.
they pan out. We'll see how our pick goes for this Monday night game, and we'll see if either Cincy or Jacksonville covers on Thursday night, and we'll hit you guys up back on Friday. But for Scotty G, this is Rocco B saying see you later and sayonara.
Adios.